yeah.
Daddy Shark.
This is awkward, isn't it?
Daddy Shark.
All right, welcome frenemies to episode 49, the 757 Talk. You got the man in the shark costume, Chris, and to my right, we got the commish Sean laughing at me.
Yes, so if you're very confused on the podcast and wondering why that was the intro and you didn't listen to the main podcast,
Well, now we know who doesn't listen to the main podcast.
you need to get onto the YouTube and look at this ridiculous shark costume that we've dressed
Yep.
Chris up because he lost the bet with Geronimo Allison.
I hate you, Allison. That's the last time I bet on any Green Bay players. I'm a Viking fan for a reason.
There you go.
We must hate them. All right, but we're in the playoff push, man. We're going into week 9 here. We're just a couple of weeks away. We're starting like in our local league, our top 6 starting to take some shape. There's a lot of movement there in the middle.
It's clogged, that's for sure.
It's definitely clogged. So clogged that, you know what? I have to put Sean here on the spot for a trade offer.
Oh, you didn't do it right at the beginning here?
Right
We did not talk about this.
Live and on air. Not live. I mean, it's posted next week or
true.
tomorrow. But yes, I would love to send you Tyreek Hill and Matt Breida for Tevin Coleman. I'm sending you a legit wide receiver one coming off of injury, scoring pretty well without Mahomes.
Yeah.
And
Mahomes is coming back.
You're above me in the playoff push.
Trying to bring me down to your level here.
This gives you a boost for a legit wide receiver one when I say Mahomes returns in week 10.
So yeah, to pull the curtain back a little bit here, I got this trade offer this morning from Chris.
Yes, he did.
First instinct was Tevin Coleman scored 4 touchdowns. I don't want to let him go.
Yes.
And so I didn't reject the offer, but I kind of told him, it's a good offer, but I don't know if I'm going to be able to do that. The other thing is I play Phil this week, and I really need a win. And I feel like one of my best opportunities to get a huge scorer is Tevin Coleman this week. He's got a fantastic matchup against the Arizona Cardinals on a Thursday night when they're in shambles right now. And then Matt Breida is looking like he might not play.
Right.
And so if he's not playing, then Coleman's just going to go nuclear again. And so that's my trepidation with it.
Trepidated.
Getting Breida does sweeten the deal, because if it was just straight up Tyreek for Coleman, it would be a no. But I'm gonna table it. You gotta keep watching.
So guys, if you're listening and you want Tyreek Hill on your fantasy team, hit me up. I need a running back.
End of the podcast, I'll give you an answer. That's what
Ooh,
we'll say.
Okay.
So
Well, I'm stewing the pot.
15 minutes or so.
Once you publish this, it's out there.
That's true.
All right. So state of the league here, man. Phil Boston is back up top in the rankings.
Yeah. I was, he's just slowly moved his way up there. It kind of started a little rough for Phil, but he's very clearly got a great team that's now sitting at number 1.
He's got a 3-headed beast at running back.
Yeah,
Alvin Kamara,
that's
Aaron
the thing.
Jones, Josh Jacobs.
I know. Don't remind me. I'm playing him this week.
Jeez.
Luckily, Kamara's on bye, but
Yeah, and I'm looking at Jones. I'm like, no one really thought he was going to be this involved in that offense and scoring like he is.
That's been the really big difference. Is Aaron Jones has just come on so much, and he now has, like you said, those 3 running backs that he can just tear apart our league with, because nobody has that type of running back depth right now.
No.
And that's what probably is going to carry him all the way to that first round bye. I think he's pretty locked in there.
Phil, would you like Tyreek Hill for one of those running backs? You said no to me earlier, but hopefully you've had a change
Did you
of
offer
heart.
for both of them? You tried to get Aaron Jones?
No, I tried to get Josh Jacobs or Alvin Kamara. So,
okay.
Yeah, I was trying to go there.
I'm surprised for Jacobs.
Yeah, I know.
I mean, he's steady though.
I thought about it.
Yep.
Anyways, and then on the bottom end, I have fallen out of the playoff.
Yeah,
positioning
what's going on, Chris? You're about down at 8.
I lose to my brother, which I thought I beat earlier this year, but we got a rematch again, and he beat me 102 to 86. I definitely laid an egg. Picked up Kirk Cousins for
I'm the
$50.
commish, but I need to talk to the schedulers here, because I haven't played Ryan Meckes yet, and I'm very upset because his
Where's
team
that easy
sucks,
dub?
and
Yeah,
I
right?
don't have my easy
I need that
W.
easy dub too. I don't think I played. Hopefully, maybe we get him in the playoff push. There we go.
I've already looked ahead. I'm going to get him in like week 13 or something, or 12.
I got to look ahead too.
So it'll be right before. I'll get that hopefully easy win. Watch, his team will just go off against me.
Ryan is so beloved when it comes to this.
We love to open up our matchup this week and go, oh yes, it's Ryan.
Yep. So I mean, just quickly in that playoff
Throwing
push.
shade his way when he's not even here to defend himself. We didn't even mention that he's not here.
No, he's not even here. Yes, he's not inside the shark costume. It's me, Chris. And you have moving up, David's up there right above me, hitting at that 7th spot.
Yep.
But then 6, my brother, after beating me this week. And then you right at 5.
Yeah, I'm just kind of hanging on there. I'm in a position where I feel like I've got a good opportunity to, make a push to either get close to that top 2, bye week seeds, or I could fall out of the playoffs if I start losing here. So
It's really tight there in the middle.
Yeah.
I think the top 4 looks pretty decent. At least top 3 to me are like locks.
It's really only Daniel and Ryan that are out of it at this point. Everybody else still has a chance to get in the playoffs, and then when it's the playoffs, who knows, man?
It's all about runs.
Yeah, exactly.
Got to make a run, or someone slides.
Matchups are good in those playoffs. You never know who could win this
I
thing.
was up there at close top 4 a couple weeks ago, and I have nothing but slid down.
Yeah, so
every week.
You never know what's gonna happen, but we're gonna act like we think we do.
Yes.
And so we're gonna go into the playoff push here. I got to make sure to play this drop before I forget.
Playoffs? Don't talk about playoffs. You kidding me? Playoffs?
So as we get closer to these playoffs, this is really the time, like I was saying, where you can either slide or you can get in. So if you can make moves like trading for Tyreek Hill to get yourself over that hump to get into that playoffs, then now is the time to do it. And so we're going to kind of pick some, we're going to do a dark horse and we're going to do an overachiever. And so that dark horse to start off is going to be somebody who's outside of that top 6 but has the opportunity to make the playoffs and then maybe even win this thing. So somebody we kind of think they can jump in there and actually win it. So we'll start with you, Chris. Who do you got? Because you're being selfish.
I love Sean's pick, but I'm going to be different. I'm going to pick me. Me.
Since you're number 8.
I'm a 3-time champ.
You are
in the world of
eligible. I was not
fantasy.
eligible for this, so.
Yeah. So, you were already in there. So, I think I could get it. It all depends on my homies. And Todd Gurley.
And Tevin Coleman.
And
right?
Tevin Coleman. I need him. But guys on my roster right now, I need Mahomes to return, hopefully by week 10. But I also need Todd Gurley. Okay, the management there, Rams, McVay, look at me. You're in the second part of the season. Run the darn ball.
Yeah.
All right? And you've noticed that. You look better and you need wins because right now Seattle and San Francisco is pushing you guys out of a playoff spot. So run Todd Gurley.
Yep.
So that's my only hope here. Who's your dark horse, Sean?
All right, so my dark horse is David. I think
the Reverend.
He's got a team that's could catch fire here. The big thing that's been hurting him is Robert Woods.
Oh,
so I'm
yeah.
by this week. It's really hard to figure out what's going on with that. I guess it's just Cooper Kupp is the easy answer. He's just taking all of the work that used to be split between the 3 of them. But if Brandon Cooks here, he's got this concussion. And if it's his second one in like a couple weeks. So if he goes down the Sterling Shepard route where he's going to be out a few weeks,
Right.
I think Robert Woods could be a good option for him. He's got Zeke coming back off bye this week. He's got Sony Michel, who we've talked about before. I think as it gets colder here, New England is just going to start running the ball. And then he's got, I think John Brown is actually a pretty good wide receiver. Is really hurting. So my advice to you, David, if you see a wide receiver worth getting in these next couple weeks,
Tyreek Hill.
spend up on him so that you can get him off the waiver. Because if you can bolster your wide receiver core just a little bit, I think he's got a really good shot.
Yeah, and if Devontae Adams just feels like returning soon.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, I almost forget because it's been so long.
It's been
He has Devontae
so
Adams.
long. So if he can get back in there, his roster looks a lot more playoff worthy than mine.
Yeah.
But I'm just selfish. All right, so our overachiever. All right, we're looking at teams that are outside or inside the top 4. All right, that could miss the playoffs.
Yeah.
This
So-
is weird, but Sean, you're gonna go first here.
I'm gonna go first here. I don't want to go first because I don't want to keep doing this. I love this man. I love you, Leroyce.
We love you.
and we just keep just not believing in you. And so I just think it's been documented. We think you've been a little overachieving as to up to this point. And so he's kind of the guy that now he is sitting up there at number 3, I think, right? He's 3rd overall. Yeah, 3rd overall. So to slip out of the playoffs would be quite a slide. The way that I think this could happen is he has Lamar Jackson, who is basically, a cheat code in this fantasy world. And so the other thing with Lamar Jackson is that he is a cheat code, which is running, and he could get hurt. And that's kind of where I see his team could really crumble if for some reason, he's been pretty smart with it so far, but he's running so much that it would only take one play for him to, get seriously injured and then tank Leroyce's team. The other thing is his running backs. He's got Austin Eckler and Gordon. I like Gordon to come on, but they're still going to eat into each other. And if the Chargers have a bad week, then that just really hurts his team for that week. Nick Chubb.
Bring it back.
I think Kareem Hunt's coming back. I know he's coming back. In my opinion, he's not going to be super fantasy relevant. He went and traded for Kareem Hunt this week with your brother, I think.
Yeah.
So he got Kareem Hunt to kind of check himself and make sure that if for some reason he becomes the new, running back to own in that Browns, that he has him. But I think it's going to be more like that Eckler Gordon thing where you're not going to be able to start Hunt consistently because he won't get enough work, but he'll get enough work in the passing game to where he'll take that away from Chubb and you'll lose a lot of the upside. Whereas Chubb's I think he's a top 6 at the end of last week, because I tried to trade for him, he was a top 6 running back on the year. And so I just don't think that Chubb is going to be able to keep that up for the rest of the season. So I think he could slip down. Like I said, it would take quite a few losses in a row here, but we have a half win thing. So if you're not scoring points, you can go down that chart real quick.
Oh yeah. Just ask me.
Yeah. Just ask the shark.
The shark. I pick a man that's a very good friend of the podcast, the doctor himself, not an MD, Tim James.
Oh,
love you, bud. But
throwing some shade.
Your lack of wide receiver one could hurt you down the stretch here. It's odd, trying to find which one out of the top 4. We both felt that Joe and Phil were locks. And Tim, you had a great week this week. But Allen Robinson, I'm looking on my phone here, Gallup. All right. If you're depending on them and you had Juju going off there for a little bit without a real quarterback, that could hurt you really bad. But the emergence of Barkley and Rodgers, especially Rodgers coming back and looking like his old self, will be good, and Mac's going to be steady. But your wide receiver thing is going to be very, very fun to watch down the stretch unless you trade for Tyreek Hill.
I got to throw this out there because I think last week I mentioned him as being in consideration for my one. So I very much disagree with you in this one because
you got to throw the fight button.
Yeah, let me hit the little ding here. His roster to me has the potential to easily win this league, not just make the playoffs. He's got Saquon, who's getting healthier every week, and he's Saquon Barkley. Aaron Rodgers is caught fire and is now the Aaron Rodgers that we've used to know. He's got Marlon Mack, who's just for an RB2, that's fantastic.
Yeah.
Like some people are looking for him as an RB1. Allen Robinson has been great. Joe Edelman's been great. Travis Kelce is about to get Mahomes back.
Yeah.
I think that he's going to be getting more involved in the offense. And then Juju, you saw this week the upside of Juju. I saw this week as I lost my... Yeah, that's true. It was against the Dolphins. But I think that what we are going to see is Mason Rudolph is going to target him a lot. So he's going to be a safe option. So if he needs
you think Juju will be a wide receiver one?
No.
Oh, okay.
But he doesn't have to be for Tim because he's got Edelman. Exactly. He's got so much else on the roster that I don't think he needs a true wide receiver one that he can, he's got 3 wide receiver 2s on his team. And I think that's going to be good enough for him.
Ooh. All right. If we picked you as an overachiever, it was not personal. We just like Phil and Joe a little more than you guys. We had to draw the short straw here to say who was talking about who.
Yep.
But that's it we got for the local league here.
Except for maybe this trade here.
Ooh.
So it's coming down to this. I got to make a decision here because
Jeopardy.
It's
go.
Just hit the Jeopardy button. Oh,
Where is it? There we go. As I wait. You can't say no to a man in a costume.
I know. I made you sit through that shark costume.
2 shows.
I like the upside of, and that Mahomes is coming back is a big thing.
Yep.
Oh gosh, my music's out.
In front of our 10 other guys watching this podcast.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna do it.
Yes.
I think I'm going to do it.
Yes, he's gonna hit that. Except
So I don't know where it is in here. I can't find the button. Oh, here we go. Outstanding trades. Ready? We're going to do this live on air.
Live on air.
So that I can't back out of it after
Nope.
this podcast. And I am the editor, so I could go in there and just edit this part out, but I will stay true to my word. And I honestly think that Burrito's not going to be out for too long. And
Yep.
I think that is the part that really makes me want to do this, because I can still keep some running back depth. Like, you were smart in the way you constructed this, because I need to have that. And if it's not impossible for the script to flip and for Burrito week to week to be
That's true.
better than Coleman. So
It's a gamble, but
to get Tyreek, who I think, he's just one of those difference makers that you could have him go off in a weekend. It doesn't matter what the rest of the team does. If he gets you a 40-point week, then you're going to win.
Yeah.
So that's where I'm really leaning towards. So there you go. Button's been accepted.
Trade is now pending. Oh, Jesus, here we go.
So now you can let the regret sink in for the two of us and find out if it was worth it or not. The other big thing I was afraid of is I've been afraid of injuries with Tyreek, and then week one, like off season, that's why I didn't draft him.
Yeah.
And then week one, he got hurt. And so I was kind of proven right. I was like,
Oh, so mad.
and so I still have that in the back of my mind that he's a little guy and he's, in a lot of plays, and I'm just afraid he could get hurt. But stay healthy, my man.
He's unguardable.
Yeah, he is unguardable. So,
Oh,
all
boy.
right. Well, you heard it here and saw it on this
Ooh,
podcast.
Daniel Kalana just approved it.
Oh, great! Here we go. It's getting approved.
Who's the other one?
No going back now.
Who's jumping in? Daniel's approved. We need a second. This is so fun. I wish we were live streaming.
All right. Well, that's what we had for you guys this week. Check back with us next week. We're going to be at episode 50, so we got to come up with something.
50.
Yeah, we're at the big 50. It doesn't seem like we've been doing it that long. But
No, it doesn't.
We are at 50. And so tune in next week, and then we'll let you know what's going on with our league, and then
Maybe we'll have a cake.
maybe we'll have a cake.
I don't know.
All right, see you guys.
Deuces. Daddy Shark.